Hello, and welcome to the DecentraWise Podcast. My name is Pedro.
And I'm Miguel, and you just joined us in our mission to decentralize the world wisely.
Speaking of wisely, the first wise thing is grab your drink.
Yeah, I have my drink, but
The
it's
second
not a
is
wise
press
drink.
the like button and press the subscribe.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but yeah,
Don't smash them because that's what everyone says and poor
yeah,
buttons.
smashing a button is
Come on,
weird
just
stuff.
click them gently. We are gentle people here, okay?
Speak for yourself.
And sit back and relax because today we will be getting even nerdier than every
No
Monday.
way.
Yeah, it is.
No way.
I
I
think
can't
so.
believe it. I can't believe so. So we can try. We can try to do it. So today we are going to talk about what is a Web3 security auditor. So,
And
guys,
shout out to our
sponsor? Oh no,
followers.
we don't have a sponsor.
No,
No.
we don't have a sponsor yet, but we are open. If you want to sponsor us, why not? But our followers asked this subject, and I think it's very important, and it's a very good question because the usually there is the Web3 developer path, and we talked about that in the last episode, and everyone thinks about being a developer and studying to be a good developer and then getting a career on that and so on. But there are other ways to even become a good developer. You don't have to be a good
Yeah,
developer before.
yeah. When we
So,
talk about Web3 development, there are a lot of things around Web3 development, and auditing is one of those. So people usually think about really coding, but auditing is a really important part of the Web3 development.
yeah.
So, and this is what we are going to dive in today. So stay sharp, guys, because this is a very nerdy subject. So
No,
let's go for that.
and it's very important to understand this because I'm just trying to find. Let me see. Uh,
What are you looking for?
I am trying to find who asked for this, but I'm not. Maybe you can do it there.
Yeah,
Um,
let me try that.
yeah,
It's
but this
Jack G Candy 5875.
okay.
So
Thanks
hope,
for
hope I
the tip.
did not butcher the name. I did, but yeah, well,
Yeah, thanks for
I
the
did the
tip
best I could.
on the subject because it really makes a lot of sense, right? So the idea is that and first of all, let's start in the beginning and explain what is uh, Web3 smart contract and security auditor, right? Um, Being an auditor is uh, auditing the security aspects of something, uh, an application, framework, whatever, right? So you have to go and search for problems, search for exploits, search for inconsistencies, uh, and create a report on that, right? But usually, people think of an auditor as an expert, right? It's
I was thinking about the tax auditing. So
No.
You know those guys with
Yeah.
a tie and a gray suit?
No, no, it's not. It's not like that. Generally is the opposite in this
It's a
space.
shame because those guys are hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, but in this space, it's different because people just think that to have a project that is more or less secure, you need to go to those guys, and those guys will produce a meaningful thing, not just some report that the consultancy firms do that usually says nothing in 1,000 pages. So in this space is a lot more.
Yeah,
The
but
auditing is a lot more effective.
those are really
Has
good, usually
says
good
a lot of
finding.
things in 2 or 3 pages or 10
Yeah,
at most.
those guys are really good finding typos.
The auditors, the regular
Yeah,
the
yeah,
suit
yeah,
and
yeah.
tie ones, yeah.
No, no,
But let's
no.
forget
Those
those.
those from the companies that you are talking that just produce an extensive report of just
Yeah,
nothing
the
at
suit
all.
and tie guys.
Yeah, those guys are good finding typos, and they usually don't find any major security issues because they usually don't know how to.
And they usually are not paid enough to be good enough.
Yeah,
Uh, those companies just grab people from universities and put them doing things, and they
yeah,
don't really care about the outcomes. But being a security audit in Web3 and blockchain world, it's different. Um, it's you have to produce results, otherwise you don't get anywhere, right? The good security firms, the security auditing firms, they have the best auditors there is, right? The guys
yeah,
that find a bunch of problems in any software. And if you want to think about becoming an auditor uh, as a way to find your way into one of those companies, forget it. It's not the way you start being an auditor, right? Uh,
yeah.
don't even think about applying because you won't get anything. Otherwise, uh, if you have something to show, okay. If you are already a Web3 developer with a lot of projects and so on, then yes, okay. You might be successful,
Yeah,
but
but
it's
you
not the
need to
way.
keep in mind it's a different career, right?
Yeah. So uh, the idea of being having to have to be a crazy amazing developer to be an auditor is also not true, right?
Yeah,
Because those are different things, completely different things, right? Being a developer, it's the art of uh, creating amazing technology, software, right? You have to know how to program in several languages, uh, become an expert in some of those languages, and learn and be continuously learning about the ways to produce better software. And with time and experience, you will become a kick-ass developer, I'm sure. But it takes time. It's not
yeah,
something that you expect to be tomorrow, right?
yeah.
And uh, the career path for an auditor is a completely different one. You don't need all those steps. You just need to be a good enough reading code and good enough writing tests or proof of concepts, right? You don't have to produce a kick-ass technology-wise proof of concept. Nobody gives a fuck, right? It either tests the
Yeah.
right thing and shows that there is a bug, or it don't, right? So the if it is well written or very poorly written, nobody gives a shit, right? If it's maintainable or not, don't care, right? If you just need to write something, and to write a proof of concept in Web3 to justify a bug in a smart contract or in anywhere, you just need to write it in JavaScript, like a test in like a regular Mocha Jasmine test, right? Or write it in Foundry with Solidity if you prefer, and show that there is a bug. And that's it. You don't have to be a kick-ass developer for that. What you have to be is a kick-ass reader of code and finder of logic issues, of untested parameters, of math problems, rounding problems, whatever. Pattern matching is very important to find
Oh yeah.
uh, well-known um, exploits, right? Uh, you'll need to learn to use a few tools that help you on on that process, and you can start today. So these are the good news, right? Uh, Now let's get to the bad news. And we always like to share the nitty gritty in this channel. And if you think that being an auditor is easier because of this that I just said, no, it's not easy to be an auditor.
Oh yeah.
But I really think that is a very nice path to become a kick ass developer if you like both. Because to be a kick-ass developer in Web3 and um, smart contracts and blockchain, you have to worry about these things as well, right? But you have to have all those other things. Being a kick-ass developer requires a lot of extra stuff. So, but you can do that with time and experience. But in the meanwhile, start checking others' uh, projects' codes and make money out of it. Of course, at the start, forget about the big bounties. You won't get them because it's difficult. It's not easy to spot major bugs in software. Um, Either it's by chance, and you can be lucky, but as usual, as in most of the situations, luck is the result of hard work, right? It's not by chance. So, and this is another case of those. Becoming a very successful auditor is hardworking, right? You have to put the work, and it's something that start. You can start today and start getting experienced on. Uh, and with this, I would like to point you to two platforms where you can start uh, experimenting. My favorite one is Code Arena, where Arena, instead of an A, has a 4. Um, Code Arena is an open platform where you can join today. You can be anonymous or be verified, and you can start. Uh, you can join any audit that is ongoing. Usually, they have a finite time to for auditors to produce um, their findings, and you just go there and start submitting findings. You get access to the code that the platforms share, and you start checking it on your local machine, verifying if it does what it's supposed to do and all those things and so on. You have to find minor bugs, gas optimization bugs, uh, medium and high um, problems. And by submitting those reports, uh, if you find something that many people find, you will get a small payment. And if you find something that just you could spot it, and it's a high um, risk problem, then you get a bunch of money, like
Let's talk a little bit
tens
about
of
that because
thousands of dollars. It's
yeah,
just like that.
because it's not easy to spot such a bug, right? And the thing is, most of the bugs that are easy won't get you that much money.
Yeah,
And
but for instance, with my experience, when I started in Code Arena, I on the first, um, I don't think it was the first audit. I think it was the second audit. I got like $10.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
bad.
it's like
It's not
almost for free. Like
amazing,
yeah,
right?
it's almost for free because like if you just run a static analysis tool, you'll get a bunch of at least messages or some warnings, and it's right out of the box that you can report those. Even though that those
If static analyzers, and we'll talk about that in next
yeah, I'm not getting into
at
the
a,
static analysis
at another
yet.
at a,
What I'm saying is that it's easy to find those minor things, but they will not get you. And I mean, it will probably not get you any money. So you will have to do some work in order to.
yeah. And then in the Codarina case, all those tools like static analyzers and stuff like that we will talk later in this episode um, are already covered. So when an audit for a particular project starts, the one of the first things that auditors more experienced have to do is to run those tools and produce a starting report where all those findings are already there. And if you want to contribute with findings to a project, you should not contribute, otherwise you will be penalized with findings that are found already in the automatic verifications, right? So you need to. I really think that the first step to become an auditor is to join Codarena and start reading audits, reading the reports of. You don't need to start trying to find things, you will do shit. So start, join Codorina, and start reading the reports when they are released. You will learn a bunch just by reading and
Yeah.
just by finding, checking the reports that how they are done, how they implemented um, the checks for the bugs, all those things. Since everything is public, usually, uh, well, the reports are not public until a certain time because of security reasons, of course, right? So uh, they are released privately to the teams so that they can fix the bugs and all those things, and then they are made public. So you will be slightly delayed on those, but that's the first thing to do. Read, read the
Yeah.
reports, find the bugs, see if you can spot them yourself, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, uh, and then during that time, if you want to uh, experiment finding bugs, instead of going and head first dive trying to be an auditor in Codorina, or another platform that you can try is Immunify. It's more like a bug bounty style kind of platform where you can also participate freely. Um, Instead of starting head first trying to find bugs in real situations, why not going for CTFs? There are a bunch of CTFs that you can do. You will learn a bunch. Most of those things are useless in an audit situation. They are good for becoming a better developer, but in an audit, all those things are too trivial. But you will learn a bunch, and you will know how to spot a reentrancy attack or
Yeah, and I mean,
something like that.
it should be good as a basic learning point for
Yeah,
auditing also, because you will know what kind of thing that you are looking for. So it's like trying to spot something that it's like a camouflage. So you need to train
yeah,
your eye in order to start spotting stuff, and that's a really good starting point.
yeah. If you want to try CTFs, by the way, CTF means capture the flag, and it's like a game, right? Uh, you get challenged,
Yeah.
and for each challenge, you need to find or to produce a certain result. And most of the times, is to hack a smart contract, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting. You can try Ethernaut. We have a few episodes on our channel how to solve the first 15 or 16. I have to record more uh, to have the entire suite of challenges.
Yeah, guys,
Uh,
feel free to check on those. Those are very interesting.
yeah, we have a lot of challenges solved, and I will be publishing more in the near future. And Ethernaut is a very nice CTF. There are more. Um, and if you search on Google for Web3 or smart contract CTF, you will see a bunch of them. Um, Ethernaut is produced by Open Zeppelin, which is a cool security firm that releases a lot of libraries for use in Solidity. So, yeah, check them out. Open Zeppelin and Ethernaut. They don't sponsor us, but they could.
Yet.
They could. And um, but yeah, they are good. They are good guys. And yeah,
Yeah, Open Zeppelin just keeps working on creating really good implementations on the standards and developing also the standards. So those guys are doing an amazing job.
yeah, and I am saying this, and I was trying to be recruited by them, and they didn't take me. So they must be amazing, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would say very bad things about them. But no, I'm not. I'm not that kind of guy. They are good. I wasn't good enough. No
Yeah.
problem. I will, and they will regret it. But anyway, um,
Okay,
but
so I think we can talk a little bit about the tooling that we have for auditing. So we start talking about static analysis, but I want to go back a little bit because it's not we are not just talking about smart contract auditing. When we are talking about Web3 security, we have to speak in a more broad uh, way uh, of dealing with things, because we are talking about the smart contracts, we are talking about other pieces of the environment, like the backends, the front ends, the oracles, infrastructure, um, key management. I don't know. So there are a lot of little pieces that go around that may break the things if not handled properly. So where do you want to start about this? Because this is and this is before tooling, because we need to be aware of all of these aspects before focusing on the tools that we can use.
yeah, many of those things have also uh, can be derived from the way things are implemented, but usually there's a lot of other things that are completely outside of the smart contract development or the framework or whatever. Um, so, for instance, um, if usually auditors can um, need to define the subject of the audit, right? And it can be a certain code base, a certain commit on a code base, or can be broader than that, right? And uh, usually in these platforms, you are we are if you think about Code Arena or Immunify and stuff like that, it's just code, right? So you just audit code, and that's it. But in a more regular audit firm, you can be contracted for code or for many other aspects, right? And it can start just like a security audit on a website, right? They have the front end of their application, and you just start there. See if you can find uh, holes in it, right? And that's a more broad, it's more security related audit, right? Uh, and you can be also focusing on the infrastructure implementation, right? Focus
Yeah.
about the servers, the server authentications, network connectivity between services, stuff like that. It's again more security related, less Web3 related. Sorry. Then you have
Still
another
coughing?
layer. Yeah, it's never ending story.
Yeah.
It's getting better, but yeah. So Then you can also focus on uh, Web3 deployment uh, strategy, where you will focus on how to deploy those smart contracts, key management, multi-signature wallets that control various parts of the infrastructure, um, uh, people involved uh, in those multi-signatures, how to control better the access to the smart contracts operations, and so on. And the last part is what everybody knows: code auditing and smart contract auditing
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So there's a bunch of other things that you can focus on and you can try to break and exploit, right? So, yeah, point me to because I lost my train of thought.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we were talking about that. There are a lot of aspects regarding the security and the all the pieces that have to come together, and all the exploits that can come from that. You were talking about ALM, or application lifetime management, and how to deploy the several pieces and how do they go together. And I would like to focus that one important issue about that is the key management for the smart contracts. Well, not only for the smart contracts, but for all the other pieces that may or may not use the smart contracts, but they use the keys, or they have to use the keys. So there's this aspect, because the keys are usually shared within the continuous integration systems, and how to manage that properly is sometimes not an easy task. So the auditors also go into that and try to focus on the best practices on key management, and how to distribute the keys within the continuous integration systems, and or people that are responsible for the management of those keys. So do you want to detail a little bit how to best manage that kind of situation?
Well, there's no one size fits all thing, right? Any project, all the projects are different. All the situations have different requirements, different restrictions, and so on. So it's very difficult to generalize. But
And
in
there is another
theory,
aspect regarding that. The people that are usually managing the keys. So sometimes you have a team managing not managing, but that has access to those keys. So I would also would like to focus a little bit on
yeah,
that aspect.
the main key takeaway in this is that if you have someone that controls some access, you have a problem, right? You have to have multiple people, and or even a mix of hardware and people, um,
Yeah.
or a mix of machines and people for each of the access levels that the platform implements, right? So if you have a single person that controls a single key to do anything, you have a
Yeah,
problem,
that's a security
right?
issue. Yeah.
Because uh, it doesn't have to be that person being a bad guy.
No,
People
but
do
somebody can
dumb
have
shit.
access to it. Well, and somebody
That's
can have access to the key,
It can be
and
by accident.
if the
People do
permission
dumb
is
shit all the time, just because they don't think it might generate any problem, and then it does. And when it does,
Yeah.
usually millions are affected, right? So uh, that's to minimize that. If you have an extra pair of eyes taking a look at something, probably you will have less than 20% of the possible issues. By adding another extra pair of eyes, like 3 pairs of eyes, we'll have less than 0.2% of problems. So why not, right? It's
Yeah.
it's it's exponential.
Yeah.
By
Well,
adding another person, you will reduce the risks exponentially,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. What I wanted to bring on was that those kind of things should point out to multi-sig wallets, so that multiple people uh, will have to authorize
Yeah,
some sort of operation, like deploying a smart contract or some money transfer or something like that. So that's the kind of things that when people are developing the projects, they facilitate a little bit because it's easier on the development. But then after deploying, it's a security risk, and the auditors will have to also have to take a look at that and find those little things. Well, they're not that little, but during development, we tend to facilitate those things, uh, and but then on production, they are security risk.
yeah. For instance, if you have a smart contract that has any kind of role with special powers, that role being an externally owned account, in case of EVM, uh, with just one signature, because that's what externally owned accounts do. They just have one signature. They have a private key, and that private key produces a signature for a transaction, right? Uh, that's not good enough, right? It's a security issue because there will be someone holding a key that is the master key of that process or that role, right?
Yeah,
So, a requirement for avoiding this is to, instead of having an externally owned account, you should have an externally owned account that is able to sign in a multi-signature contract, like a Gnosis safe or anything like that, right? Or multiple externally owned accounts, uh, usually hardware wallets that need to sign for a transaction to be executed. Although that you can have uh, an account that can be signed automatically just to initiate the process and produce the transaction, which makes it user friendly, right? Um, because for the user to be the one initiating the transaction and putting the values and all that, it's a thing of the past, right? So machines do that better than us.
yeah,
So the there can be a machine with an externally owned account that signs for a particular participant in a multi-sig wallet that produces that transaction and signs for it, and then people with their hardware wallets go and sign again and again and so on. Depending on the criticality of the thing being signed, more people should be added to the mix or less, right? And that's
yeah.
it.
And it usually it's like you only need 3 signatures out of 5, something like that, so that if somebody's on vacations, nobody's work is stalled because of that. But this is the kind of stuff that auditors will have to search and try to create a solution for the
Yeah, and
projects.
and there are uh,
And this is
there,
gold, right? It's gold for the
yeah.
companies because they are usually focusing on the development part of things and not on the security management.
For instance, in the case of exchanges, uh, usually exchanges have cold wallets, and the cold wallets are semi um, automatic on the out, getting funds to the hot wallets, and the hot wallets are automatized to put funds into the cold wallets. So uh, the hot wallets are the ones that send uh, uh, outgoing assets from the exchange and receive incoming assets to the exchange, right? Those hot wallets receive and send transactions and usually need to be automatized because people want to withdraw money at 3 in the morning, and you usually don't have the CEO of the exchange with his hardware wallet uh,
Yeah, waking up at 3 a.m.
waking up
just
during the night
to,
to sign for your withdrawal. So
yeah,
what they do is, well, let's imagine Binance has like a gazillion dollars under management, right? $62 billion or something like that. They, for each wallet that they manage, they define what is the maximum amount that they are okay if gets hacked, right? And they have hot wallets with until that maximum amount. And the cold wallets are a different story. So if someone wants to take out from Binance $1 billion, they will not. They will probably not get it today, right?
yeah.
Because of that, because the hot wallet will not produce that transaction because
I
it's
have
out of
to
scope.
I have to
Right?
say I never tried that.
I tried, but it said no insufficient balance.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but
What
anyway,
can I say?
it usually works like that. So there is up to an amount they are okay if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
so that they can have a computer holding the keys and producing signatures for that, right? And then they inspect that. They constantly check if everything is okay and matching with the withdrawals and deposits on the platform, so that that process is called account consolidation, right? So they understand what is going on and if it matches. If something goes out of match, they get warnings, and they will there will be a human inspecting the things. And then in the cold store, in the cold wallets, it's a completely different reality. So transactions are issued by machines, and usually multiple people in the company have to sign for, so that they can either be sent directly from the cold wallet to an institutional partner, or to send funds back to the hot wallets to refill them, right? This is an example. There's no one size fits all, but this is what usually happens in an exchange.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that the same thing can happen. Well, this key management issue can also happen in oracles. Uh, so yeah, let's move a little bit from this. What I wanted to, because we've seen that the auditing can go from the smart contracts to the highest level till the front end, and even the users and the software wallets and yeah, it's a huge system with lots of moving parts. But regarding smart contracts, we can benefit from a few tools. So, what are the best tools to use for auditing a smart contract?
Um, the best tools. That
JavaScript
depends.
tests.
That depends. For instance, one thing that I usually use for audits is Remix, because we can connect to any either testnet or any mainnet. We can simulate any contract on any
One thing,
address.
are there differences? What I want to ask is, are there issues that we can find in one net that we don't find in another net? Let me try to rephrase this. Are bugs network specific?
Not usually. Um, Usually the EVMs are quite compatible. Uh, Network specific, I don't think so. It is possible, but it would be very, very nuanced.
Mhm.
Might be, but I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
It could happen in a different way, not EVM related, but um, for instance, a contract that was deployed on one network being uh, ported to another network, and the team forgetting to update some addresses of tokens. Usually, the addresses of tokens are not common,
Mhm.
right? That can be one problem from going from one network to the other. Um, Minor things that probably will only be found in assembly, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But usually
Yeah,
there's
it's not
no
usual,
issue.
right?
No,
Yeah.
no.
Since we are talking about, let me interrupt you again. Since we are talking about different networks, I would like to also bring the another part that should be, and it's almost a must to be audited, which are the bridges. And bridges are the pieces, the smart contracts or other pieces of software that link different networks. And these are usually a very nice target for
A
exploits.
honeypot.
Yeah. So, what can we say about bridges? And the auditing, of course, since it's the subject of today.
Yeah, usually a bridge is a smart contract on the out um, outside network that holds funds and mints copies of those funds or IOUs on the inside network. So um, imagine Ethereum, and in Ethereum I have a token, and my token is a very valuable token, and I want to make it so that my user base is able to use that token in Polygon, for instance. I create a bridge or use the Polygon bridge. Polygon bridge is very secure, but you never know. But I implement my own bridge because I can, and I create a smart contract on Ethereum that holds the funds that people send to it and mints the through an external process, which is usually a bot running on a server that I control, um, that receives notifications on the deposits on the one side of the bridge and issues transactions on the inside network to mint the wrapped tokens, for instance. Uh, what is the part that probably will be exploited? in this system.
The minter part.
Can be the minter part, but there's not much there because if you mint a bunch of rep tokens, doesn't give them any value, right? They will probably go to zero immediately, right? So that is not the best part. A good part can be the bridge itself. So if you find the address of the server and you are able to exploit the server, then you can mint more or do the reverse, which is simulating a withdrawal and generating a transaction on the main net to withdraw some tokens. But the best thing is to just hack the hell out of the server, find the keys if they are there, and just grab all the tokens from the other network, right? Why not? If you hold the keys.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah. What I meant by grabbing on the minter is that, well, you can just mint tokens, and if you are smart enough, you don't devalue the token that much, and you just mint, or in time you can mint the tokens.
You can, but
doing
you will if you get if that gets reported, and no, don't forget that in blockchain everything is public, so there is a million eyes usually.
Yeah, well, the thing is that if you have like a million transactions and you mint like a million times, it gets unnoticed, right? It's not easy to spot if you took if you mint some for you.
Yeah, but let's think about it. What is the use of minting IOUs if you can just run with the base funds, right? What is the most valuable? Is the base token that is traded on Ethereum, or the rep token traded on Polygon?
Yeah, but you have to do the operation. You have to do the operation both ways, right? If you are bridging, you have to do the operation both ways.
If I'm hacking, I don't really care about rep tokens. I just care about getting all the funds out of the bridge. That's it. Because those are the valuable ones. The rep tokens, I don't give a shit. They are just simulated tokens on another network that when I just find a breach in the bridge, they will immediately go to zero because nobody trusts that they still have value. Because the base funds, the assets under management of that bridge were taken out of that bridge. That happened a bunch of times in bridges, right? And whenever they get exploited, that's what happens. The rep tokens just start being valued at zero because nobody can take their money out.
Yeah.
Right. So they become worthless from night to day.
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
So that's usually the problem, and usually bridges are hacked by the inside. Usually people are phished. People are exploit workers on the bridge, right? They get some kind of social engineering, stuff like that, so that people get access to computers inside and then find keys and then break the things.
Yeah.
But some bridges are hacked from the outside. They find exploits in the smart contract that holds the funds. That is even easier, right? If there is a smart contract that is not secure enough, holding funds at the outside of the bridge, that's the honeypot, right? That's the best. So, but don't think, if you want to become a security auditor, don't think that there is only code that you have to look for. Most of the problems are not code related.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the bigger
So
ones.
okay, so let's finish the coding part, and let's go back to the tools that what tools do we have and that we can use to audit smart contracts.
I was talking about Remix because
Mhm.
I really think that is a very powerful tool. It's
Yep.
very easy to use. It's browser based. You just have your own chain running there. You can experiment right in your browser, and you can connect to main chain, test nets, whatever. Simulate that you have deployed a contract on an address with some extra stuff added in it, like the function um, attack. Go see my videos on the Ethernet CTF and perform attacks right from the browser in test nets or whatever, and have fun with it. The second tool, without any order of importance, is the static analyzer. The what's the name of it? I don't remember.
Slither.
Slither, exactamente. Exactly. Slither is has integration with Visual Studio Code. It's you can run it
Yeah, I can run
over
it
many
on the command
projects.
line. So
You can run it on the command line. It's a Python script, and it produces all kinds of results. And it also integrates with a bunch of tools. The Visual Studio Code extension for Slither also uses tools from Ecdina, from many other tools that produce, for instance, call graphs on your
yeah,
functions, and you can figure out what are the connections from here to there and so on.
yeah,
And it helps a lot. And by the way, there is another Visual Studio Code extension that allows us to put marks on the code base to, for instance, notes, or to mark the incidences of a certain
yeah. To document
finding,
your auditing, right?
right?
Yeah.
And let me check the name of the extension. Just a moment, because I find it very useful when doing audits. Um, uh, I have so
I
many
also don't
extensions
recall the name of
installed.
that.
Visual Studio Developer.
Yeah, I also forgot the name.
Yeah, let me.
Actually, I
Yeah,
uninstalled it.
yeah. I don't. I'm not. It should be somewhere in here, but I don't know. But inline bookmarks.
Yeah,
Um, it's the extension that I use. So we bookmark lines and put special tags on those so that you know that there is a minor bug in there, there is a major bug in there, and so on. That um, when it's time to create a report, you don't forget anything.
yeah,
It's cool. It's from Tintin Web, so check that out.
yeah. So,
And then after
what else?
Slither, we have Mithril as well. It's another tool that you can run and produce a lot of results. for you to inspect and see if they make sense or not. Um, and another tool that I like a lot is Foundry. Uh, Foundry has a very nice test suite for Solidity, where you develop tests in Solidity. But the most important thing is it has fuzz testing for function parameters. And it can become very handy to use it to find impossible values being sent to functions that produce strange results. So if you want to test a bunch of values being passed to a function, instead of creating a bunch of tests or four loops in regular tests in hard hat or whatever, Foundry does a very good job finding those for you without writing a single line of code. So
Yeah.
check that out. It's very useful as well.
Yeah, it is. It avoids you a lot of trouble writing tests,
But the most important,
and it's better, right?
yeah,
Because it just puts there really crazy values that you probably won't remember using.
but the most important thing is uh, a very acute eye for finding problems. And those problems don't have to be security or exploits or whatever. The most valuable uh, findings are usually logic related or math related.
I would say process, right?
Yeah.
Because we have a process for all things, and if you find some breaches on the process, you can be really helpful to the projects.
Yeah, and usually most people, when auditing in Code Arena or Immunify or those platforms, you are paid for being a solo finder, right? What pays the most is when you find something that others didn't, right? And in order to do that, you have to concentrate on what you are good at, and what usually others are not good at. So if you concentrate on exploits and those security issues that are um, uh, that are the focus of many other people, then you are losing because the chances of you finding more than them are very thin, right? If you focus on whatever uh, other people don't focus as much, maybe you get um, more probable to find serious things than focusing on the issues that most people focus on.
Yeah.
And most people focus on security issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you focus on logic issues or other kinds of problems, for instance, math rounding issues, the best, just go for Code Arena and check the last bounties paid that are 5 or 6 digits, and you will see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, I think we are getting to the finish line here. What I would like to just make more explicit here, we talk little bits about this, and what are the best ways to start as being an auditor.
Start being an auditor is just like start being a YouTuber. Uh, the best day was yesterday, and the second best day is now. So uh, that's the
Yeah,
that's
well,
that's the
uh,
same as anything in
it's
life, right?
it's a good way to think that this is a career path, right? And it's you will have to start from the beginning, and so don't think that you are going to start like being going to a big auditing company and start making auditings in huge projects. I think the best way to start, it's like probably going to the CTFs and start training your eye to spot some stuff that things that other things that we mentioned before in this episode. And by the way, guys, if you are enjoying this, press the like button and the subscribe, and so it will help us a lot distributing this content. Uh, and So what are the other ways? So apart from CTF and start training yourself,
I would like
Coderina
I
is also a really nice
yeah
place to start on.
I really think that starting being an auditor is a very cool thing because, for instance, if you want to become a developer, uh, right now there are not much jobs for junior developers, and the only path for you, as we told in the last episode, is to go to GitHub, start contributing to open source projects, and you will get zero compensation for that work. You will just get uh, experience in the portfolio to when the market becomes more open, you show that you've done something, right? And it's very good. But if you like being the Eki style, if you think that you might find issues in other software, um, or you want to become better at that while becoming a developer, uh, that's a very interesting thing to do. And it's something that you can start making money today, right? Uh, it's hard, it's difficult, but at least there is a chance of you making money, right? And
And very
that's
good money, by the way.
yeah. And if you find something that is very important and nobody found, you might get 5 or 6 figures in
Yeah.
just a finding. That's how fucking great it is, right? What are the chances of you doing so? Very slim, but there are chances, right? Uh, and there is luck involved as well. Uh, Although luck happens more times to people that have
Yeah,
more
you can
experience,
grow your own luck, right?
right? Uh, it is possible for you to start, and there are cases that just check on Coderina interviews. There are cases of people that not on the first audit, but maybe the first 10 audits, they got 6 figures or 5 figures uh, payments.
Yeah.
So there is a real potential of earning in this space, and it helps you being a better developer. Although you don't have to be a better developer, you can become.
Yeah, indeed.
So, uh, and you don't need to be a guru or an expert to start doing audits. That's the whole demystification that I wanted to do with this topic. Is that plenty of auditors, some of them I know personally and have worked with them. They were not experts at all, and they become auditors, and they had a keen eye to find problems, and they made
Yeah.
millions.
Yeah. Yeah. As we
So
were saying, it's usually a logic problem and understanding the process. So when you really understand the process, you can really think and start digging and try to hack it. So it's not like everything is code, but understanding the project will help you like big time.
yeah, and that's the most important thing in audits is to think uh, outside of the box and try to understand the project, understand how it is implemented, how it is deployed, the logic behind the business logic of the software, and see if that is somehow exploitable. And I really think it's a very fun thing to do. If you like it, it will be like fun all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's just playing around, and from time to time getting paid very well. And if you think that you dedicate an entire year doing uh, audits and you didn't get paid 9 out of 10 times, but one time you just get paid like 20 or 30 thousand dollars. If you do that consistently during 1 year, you will get much more than you would have made in a 9 to 5
Yeah.
every year working, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So you will not get that consistently every month or every week or every audit that you do. But in the long run, maybe it's a nice outcome for
Yeah,
your effort.
and also keep in mind that the companies and the developers are also improving in this space, and the processes are also improving in this space. So uh, it may get harder and harder to find exploits as
And
time goes on, right?
there is something that is very important to finish this career path, is that uh, Code Arena and Immunify are just the starting point. And whenever you get ranked on those platforms, you will get contacts from audit firms. So it will be the other way around. Instead of you getting trying to get an interview with an audit firm without being an auditor and hoping to learn to be an auditor inside the job, it's the other way around. You first show what you are capable of, get rewarded for it, and then companies call you
Yeah,
to ask if you
yeah,
want to join them, right?
yeah. It serves as a showcase.
Yeah, everything is public, so you can go there and see what are the rewards of many of the people that are ranked. So uh, it's a very nice way for you to step into the audit firms uh, without an heavy interview process and stuff like that. So it's very it's a very nice path, I think.
Yeah,
And although you have to like that, doing that, and you have to become good at spotting problems, uh, I think the benefits, if your goal is to be a developer, are very very nice. And then you can postpone becoming a kick-ass developer later down the line. You don't have to do all the work before you get hired, right? And uh, if you do this and become a kick-ass developer, you will be ages away from the regular developers that
Yep.
were at your stage when you started.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Okay. I think it's time to wrap this up.
yeah,
Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash that like button. Well, don't smash it. Just kick it uh,
gently.
gently. Also, subscribe if you found this content that was useful to you. And don't forget to share also. And yeah,
Yeah,
that's for
being
you.
an auditor is very cool in 2024. And why not start today, right? Go for it.
Yep. Give it a try
I,
at least.
I, I have no referral links. You just go and find your way, and you can search our videos to find more tips on CTFs and stuff like that. And
Yeah, we have a video collection on CTF, so guys, feel
do
free to
that.
go there.
If this episode sparked that interest in you, follow it. You won't regret, right? And after smashing the like button, no smash.
Yeah, kick it.
After clicking gently on the like button just once, don't click twice because it will not work. Uh, yeah, just go and start being an auditor today.
Yep. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We have the links down below on the description. Ask us any questions that you want to hear us talk about, and that's it, guys.
And
See you on the
for
next episode.
Codorina and Immunify, if you want to sponsor us, you can.
Yeah, we are
Anyway,
here. So.
just joking. See you in the next episode, guys. Hope you had fun with this one, and yeah, I hope we covered the questions of the guys wanting to have pros and cons of being an auditor discussed, and yeah, keep on sending more questions to our social media and so on, so that we can address them. And see you in the next episode, guys. Cheers.
See you in the next
Bye
one.
bye.